everyone, welcome back to Toothy Knits. My name is Shauna and I am a crafter. I knit, crochet, sew, paint some, but never gonna see that here. I'm a mom of 3. I can't remember what I said already, but I'm a dental hygienist as well. And so this is gonna be episode 3. If you can please subscribe, like this video, super appreciated, no pressure. So today's just going to be a regular episode of what I'm up to, what I'm wearing, you know, same old. So grab yourself a hot beverage, warm, whatever. Grab yourself something to drink, you're knitting, and hang out with me for a bit. So today I am wearing my Find Your Fade. Is that it? Yes. Find Your Fade by Andrea Mowry. I made this about a year and a half ago while I was in dental hygiene school. My courses were online. The theory courses were online, so I was home while doing that. The thing is that, you know, busy mom, when you're home, you think of laundry, you think of dishes, you think of a gazillion things. So I had to keep my hands busy as well as listening to what my instructors were saying. And yeah, so I made this. I made a shawl for my mom a couple of years ago. Well, during that time as well. I think I've made like socks as well, but the funny part was that during one of my courses, the instructor noticed that I was knitting, and she's like, "Hey, are you knitting?" And I'm like, "Yes." And she's like, "Oh, what are you knitting?" And then she asked me like 2 or 3 questions, and she's like, "Okay, so cool, as long as you can listen." And she knew I had good grades, so she moved along. So yeah, I think that's I've never been diagnosed, but slight ADHD in me that needs to have her hands busy at all times. I'm guessing a lot of you know about this because you must be a little bit too. So, finished object. I don't know if you can really call this a finished object. It's more of a fixed object. I made this for my daughter a couple years ago, my youngest, so she's continuously growing. So I made her this scarf. So this is what was done before, so up to this point here. And then she grew and she couldn't get around her neck anymore, or it was like short. So I continued it and I finished up this. So this usually should be a full point. The thing is that she was so excited to have it that she just kept pestering me. I'm like, I literally have this much left to do. Can you please just hold on? And she couldn't. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to cast off. It's fine. It's not going to grow anymore. So this was made with scrap fabrics. It's called the Pythagore from Tricot Design MCL. I'm pretty sure you can do this in any weight you want. This is mostly fingering weight. It's what I mostly knit with. I realized I have to stop saying that. So yeah, I made this and she loves it. She wears it daily. I haven't even blocked this side. So I added this blue here, this part here, and this royal blue at the end. You can see that she wore it a lot because this is a repeat of this, and you can just see the color difference in it. And yeah, I love that she still loves mama made stuff. So that's it for finished objects, because it's just been a wild few weeks with work and family stuff and everything else. Yeah, it's just been crazy. So let me think in what order I'm going to do this today. Just because acquisitions kind of runs into whips. So let's start with partial acquisition. I received yarn from Entre Sœurs Hélène to make a sweater. So my mom got me a sweater's quantity of both. I looked up the price and I was like, dude, you can't do this all the time. So please stop. I love you. I know you love me. Chill. Yeah. So this is Entre Sœurs Hélène, as mentioned, color granite and base yak. This is their 70% superwash merino, 20% yak, and 10% silk combination. Fingering weight, and this is 115 grams for 384 meters or 419 yards. There we go. Very soft, very squishy, so nice to work up so far. And I've been combining it with this fluff. This is their also granite gray Luca base, Luca 2.0 base. This is a lace weight, 65% baby Surrey alpaca and 35% silk. So the combination of these two, the color is very, very similar to what we see like on just this, I feel. And this is working up the croissant sweater. And I'm never going to say croissant ever again, I promise. Maybe only in real life. But this is what I'm making. So look at those gorgeous, gorgeous twists in the fabric. So that's the front, the sleeve. The back is exactly the same, other sleeve. So I've been working on this for the past 2 weeks. I'm not a monogamous knitter, therefore it's slow going, but this is I need quiet and concentration time. I'm really liking this pattern because it is so relaxing and it helps me to focus on what needs to get out of my head. I'm a very anxious person by nature. I worked on this at my in-laws during Easter. So I'm placed my marker here just so we know approximately where I was during this podcast. I'm actually going to move it just a little bit because I worked on it. This is my second time filming this podcast because yesterday I hadn't showered. I was feeling meh. And yeah, so I'm refilming today. Family's upstairs playing Roblox. I'm in my bedroom. So another change of location, but hey, I'm comfortable. That's what's important. So yeah, Croissant Sweater is by Veronica Lundberg. This is meant for light fingering, so lace plus lace equaling DK weight. gauge is 19 stitches per 24 and 24 rows for 10 centimeters or 4 inches. I am knitting this on slightly bigger, I believe. Is that what I said? Nope, I'm knitting this on what it's supposed to be knit. So 4.5 millimeters or US 7. My gauge, so I was at a yarn shop, and I had just received this. I went to go pick it up, and I asked her if she can immediately just ball these up for me, please. And she so nicely obliged. And I swatched right there during that event, and I got slightly under gauge. I was 20, I can't remember. Yeah, I got 21 stitches for 4 inches. And I was like, you know what, once this blocks, it's going to get bigger. So 19 makes sense. Cat's at the door. Mad that I closed the door. You know what? I'll be right back. I'll finish in a second. All right, I'm back. What was I saying? So yeah, I swatched right then and there. Loved the finish, loved the texture of it, and just decided to cast on. So I started the collar while I was there. I'm not a huge fan of like tall collars. So I kind of made sure that it wasn't like too high up. So it might like, we'll see. We'll see. I might rip that part out and just put like a regular collar on this. I'm not a turtleneck person. Goose. Don't be a turd. Okay. So that was whip number 1 and acquisition number 1. You're gonna see there's been a bit of an exaggeration here. So, oh, you wanna come up? Come on, Goose. Whip number 2. Whip number 2 is going to be this sweater here called why is it not here? Called the Timeless Tee. So working on this. I'm actually down to here. So it's a V-neck shirt, t-shirt. I've been joined by Goose. Goose. Okay, so separated also for sleeves. And this too I'm really liking. I'm working this in my Péché Mignon yak silk base that I mentioned last time. Excuse me, sir. Apparently I'm not allowed to do anything. So this is in my Goose. This is in my projects as the stripes tee. So this is by Andrea Yetman for, oh, I thought it was yak. It's BFL. Huh. Correction. BFL and silk fingering yarn. So like I said, this is the Timeless Tee by Andrea Yetman, but it's published in Biscuit Yarns. This was a free pattern. I figured I'd spent so much on yarn this past couple weeks that I needed a break in financial weight. Therefore, I went for this one. And I figured because it's in biscuit yarn, it wouldn't be a horrible experience knitting this, and it hasn't been. So this basically, you cast on right at the back raglan, and then go back and forth until you hit the length for the V-neck, and then start in the round. So I am doing this in this red color and this green, like it's slightly green. I'm kind of hoping that this red kind of neutralizes this green just a little bit and makes it more of a yellowish or brownish, whatever. Both cats have joined me now, so I'm sorry if they're messing with things next to me and you hear it. These are my cats. They follow me everywhere. So yeah, I'm hoping that it'll kind of neutralize this green so that it kind of looks a little more coherent. But you know what? They're opposites on the color wheel. We'll see. We'll see. So far, I'm liking what it's giving me. I mean, I feel like this red is just visually giving us a little bit of neutralization of that green and making it more of like a yellowish white. Well, yellow, beigey tone, whatever. So yeah, this is my mindless one. This is going around and around and around and around in stockinette now. So last night we watched a movie, and I think I went from the bottom of this stripe to here. So far, liking this. I am making the size 7 because not very size inclusive. So this goes from a 33-inch bust to 46 inches. I'm in the 42 to 44 range, depending on how much ease I want. So I'm kind of disappointed in that. But you know what? I needed the ease. I needed it. So there we go. Ooh, I'm about to lose stitches here. Did I lose one? No. Okay. I have to be careful. So, whip number 2. I also have a pair of socks upstairs that I'm not willing to go get and interrupt Roblox time for. But I haven't made much progress. I'm just tubing it down and then putting an afterthought heel. For the first time, I'm going to be trying that to see if I like that technique or not. And then I think that's it for whips. Yeah, I basically have those 3 items. Acquisitions. So I think I forgot one upstairs. Oh, to mention, for those who were here last time, I had started the Xylus tea by Audrey Barrigo in a wonderful little purple variegated, but I didn't like what it looked like with the lace in the back of that tea. So I frogged it. And I think I'm just gonna make a bralette or socks with those 2 skeins of yarn. And I think I'll just be happy with that. I feel like the lace didn't stand out with variegated, so I'm gonna find a different yarn for that and just make it a solid. I really want that tea, but it's gonna be a solid. So I forgot one upstairs, but so not this, but I acquired this at a little shop local to me. This is from Distribution Leo. If I'm able to, I will link a website down below. But I think it's a tiny company local to me. I don't even know if they sell online yet. So this one I'm just using as a pencil case slash notions bag because I have literally a little bit of everything in here. I have a second one that I'm planning on using as a walking bag. So the idea for that one is that I'd still be able to have it closed and knit socks while walking. I'm gonna try and find a strap that I can attach to here, or just add like strap hardware on both sides, and hopefully that'll do for my walking bag, because I really would like to take more walks and have a project on the go for when I walk the dog and whatnot. So yeah, I got 2 of those. They were $23 each. Cute little bags. I like supporting local as much as possible. And then with the yarn for the croissant sweater, I also got a sock weight. Look how pretty that is. So super fluorescent. I love it. This is gonna make an amazing pair of socks. Maybe leg warmers. I'm thinking maybe like boot toppers. We'll see. Maybe I'll just make the socks long enough to where I can make it look like boot toppers. And yeah, so this is Fluorescent Rain or Pluie Fluo in their base Anana. Fingering composition is 80-20, so 80 merino superwash and 20% nylon. So I will link Entre Sœurs on the bottom. I really like this company. They are based in Quebec City, I believe. I know that they have a shop somewhere in Drummondville, and they're a little far from me, so that's why I can't shop personally with them. So yeah, if you want to encourage a smaller shop, these are great yarns. I've used them several times for socks. I'm pretty sure that at least 1 or 2 are in here, but I couldn't tell you exactly where, what, how. I also got, because my daughter's been, my oldest, I have 3 daughters. My oldest has been asking for a shirt for forever now. I am planning on making her Into the Wild by Tanya Barley. By Tanya Barley. So I already had this color. This is my daughter's favorite color in the whole wide world. I am making her shirt out of Estelle worsted. Even though this calls for a DK weight, I'm gonna still make it out of this worsted. I can't see the actual sizes. Where is it? There it is. So this pattern is a little more inclusive, from 34 inches to 64-inch bust, with a positive ease of 2 to 8 inches. 2 to 8 inches. And yeah, I'm gonna make hers a slightly bigger size anyways, because she's still growing. She's only 12. She's going to be 13 this summer. So the base is going to be this color. And then I got these for the foxes. And I'm going to be using this gray as the behind of the foxes. I have some black left over from a different project, so I'm going to use that as well for like the detailing and whatnot. And yeah, I hope she likes it. I'm not quite ready to cast this on yet. I want to finish what I have going on here. After my croissant sweater, I think that's what I'm going to be working on, is her sweater, and hopefully finish it in time for her birthday in June. But I feel like that's a stretch, so it's going to be eventually. She knows about it, so it's not much of a surprise. But it is what it is. Yeah. So I believe the last acquirement, just double checking in my brain. Yes, last acquirement is from A Heap of Sheep. This is a company based in Alberta. So I'm planning on making my husband a shirt too. Even though he's kind of like, I don't know if I'll wear it. I'll be afraid of wearing it. And I told him, if I make something, I want you to wear it. If you ruin it, you ruin it. What do you want me to say? You know? So I really want to make him something. I'm a maker. This is my expression of love. So yeah. So I was scouring the internet for yarn a color that reminded me of him, and he's a redhead, so I decided green was going to be an amazing color on him. So searching the internet, I was looking for a super wash, because if he ever does wash and dry it, at least it won't completely ruin itself. So when I stumbled upon A Heap of Sheep, I saw this green. It's called Rainforest Fern. It is a 75-25 superwash merino and nylon. I went to go put in the number of skeins that I needed, because this is their super sized yarn. So it's like, instead of 400 meters, I think it's 650. So that's kind of why I chose this one. So it's a fingering weight. The pattern that I chose for him is a worsted, but I'm gonna fiddle with it and do the math and make it in a DK, because I will be holding yarn together. So yeah, when I went to go put in the quantity for what I needed for this, I couldn't put it in enough. So I sent a message to the owner, and she replied to me within minutes saying that she could for sure hand dye what I needed and ship it off to me. And I was super impressed with the timeline, with the timing of her doing all this. So she also switched the quantity to what I needed so that I could purchase this immediately. And yeah, I think I got everything within like 2 weeks, which was amazing to me. Like dyeing, shipping, amazing. So it's not a super solid, which I'm totally okay with. So you can see the variation in the yarn. I love this. So because I'm going to be holding a double, I will be kind of like switching skeins, but like one at a time. So like one's going to be continuously going. I'm going to switch one and then continuous go, switch the other, go. But yeah. So super appreciate the time that it took to do this. Thank you, Robin. It's so soft. I feel like it's going to be great to work with. So yeah, I will link them below. So please do check them out. If you're in Canada, check them out. Support smaller companies. I'm sure that they appreciate it. So look how cute. If you want to use that QR code, go for it. I'll wait. So yeah, they are totally willing to hand dye, so that you have like a whole batch of the color that you want, which I find is totally cool. So after that, I found, because he was describing to me a shirt that he would like to have if I was to make him something. And he was like, you know what, I'd like something that kind of comes up a little bit higher on the neck, not like completely high, but something that has buttons. And I knew that there was the zipper one from Petite Knit, but I don't know. I don't know. So I continued on searching and I found the Forster Henley by Alicia Plummer, published in Two Little Plums. So like I said, this is designed for a worsted weight, but I think I'm just gonna fiddle with my needles, get gauge from there and do it that way. So I took all my husband's measurements. I'm still unsure of what size I'm gonna make. I wanna test out what's gonna happen there and then choose the size from there. So when I do start working on this, I will for sure confirm what size I'm making for him. He is smaller build, but he's long. So a lot of his t-shirts, he has this special purchase from companies that make especially long t-shirts. So I made sure I got extra yardage for that because he is a long person. He's small, but he's long. So that concludes acquirements. Yes. Whew, that was a lot. So yeah, I think I spent like $200 on the yardage that I needed for his shirt. So yarn's not cheap, and that's fine. It keeps me busy. It keeps my mind sane-ish. So yeah, and now this is the life section. I've been having a week because, so last weekend was Easter. We went to my in-laws. My husband comes from a very large family. I love his family. His family, I've been with my husband for 16 years, but my brother-in-law was actually my friend for 4 years before that. So we graduated high school together, me and his brother. And we ended up meeting a couple years later. And there we go. So yeah, he comes from a large family and he has 4 brothers and sisters. So they're 5. When we all get together, we're like 18 people. And depending on husbands, boyfriends, whatnot, wives, etc. That's a lot of people, and I'm not a huge people like crowd person. So crowds for me like that, even though it's family, is hard for me. So I had to retreat to the bedroom a couple times and just take a breather, which is fine, but it made for my social battery to be in the negative. And being a dental hygienist and already having my social battery be in the negative is really tough. So I found that this week was a long week. Even though I work only 4 days a week, it was a long week. Couple of patients were like heavier cases, if you will, meaning that treatment plans were hard to put together because what they wanted and what we were suggesting kind of didn't mesh together as well. It's still fully patient's choice as to what they want. So I you know, the memes where, I don't know if you've seen these, but the memes where there's like bone loss, a huge cavity, and the dental person is trying to explain this, and the person's just like, yeah, but I just want whitening. I just want whiter teeth. And it's kind of like, my brain. It's sort of like those cases, but not quite. So it was a rough week. Please be nice to your dental staff. Listen to what they have to say. Of course, if you have doubts about what they're saying, do ask more questions. Seek a second opinion if you're feeling awkward about what they're saying. I feel like protecting yourself is as important as knowing exactly what's going on in your body. And I'm the type that's more than happy to explain exactly what's going on, why. And I find that's important. I find that it's important to show the person what's going on. If they understand, they understand. If they don't, I hope they ask more questions. But I just find it rough when they're just kind of nonchalant about their own health. But I'm not their mom, I'm not their sister, I'm not their wife. So it is what it is. I can only do my best. And if you don't understand, I'm here when you're ready. On a positive note, there are, so this one patient this week, I was a new patient, kind of one of those cases where we suggest one thing, but he kind of wants another, which is fine. Like I said, it is what it is. But after I was done cleaning his teeth, he was like super appreciative that I was careful, and I know when it's gonna hurt, or like I tell the person, hey, this might pinch a little. I know that there's a piece of tartar deep down. I need to go get it so that your gums can be healthier. And if it pinches, it pinches. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I'm always super sorry about when it does pinch. But it needs to get done. And he was super appreciative that I was careful, that I communicated. I'm not very talkative per se while I'm cleaning a person's teeth because, I mean, you're there with your mouth open anyways. You can't really answer me, and that's fine. We'll talk while we're waiting for the dentist anyways. So yeah, he was like, you were super gentle, you're super nice, super understanding, you explain well. So yeah, it was nice to hear that I'm doing a good job. I'm in my second year of practice as a dental hygienist, but I was a dental assistant for 4 years prior to that. So I worked with a dentist who gave me all the responsibility of explaining things and reassuring and making sure that their questions were answered. So I'm used to explaining things. I'm used to showing things. And obviously there's things that I can't like already tell a patient about because I'm not allowed to diagnose, obviously. I'm not a doctor. Even though I know it's there, I'm not allowed to say, hey, there's a huge cavity here. Not in my power to do so, but I can say, hey, so I think we have a couple of issues in this area here. Let's wait for the doctor's diagnostics. But I think we're going to have a conversation at the end of that. I just want the doctor's opinion first, and then we'll talk about treatment plans. But yeah, I like it when it's reassuring to hear that I'm doing a good job, even though when I'm not feeling my best, when I'm not 100%. And yeah, I was super appreciative to hear that I was doing okay. All right, so that's pretty much it. I will see you guys next time. Hopefully it's going to be only 2 weeks between now, well, when I post this and when I post the next one. Last week Easter got me and the kids were home, and I know the kids are home now. But yeah, I hope you all have a good 2 weeks, week or two. We'll see what I do. And don't forget to floss. Flossing is important. Yeah. See you next time. Oh, reminder, you can find me on Ravelry as Shauna Toothy Knits. You can find me on Instagram, Shauna Toothy Knits. And obviously here. I hope that you guys like, subscribe, go check out my things. It helps me a little bit. I'm not monetized, obviously, so far. This is only episode 3. But I would like to eventually get there. Whatever. It is what it is. This is just an outlet for me to talk about yarn and what I'm making, because I don't have many yarny friends.